sharper stones. No broken promises, no busy tones. Just what it takes, just make believe. No one belongs to anything. I've seen the lies, I've seen the lies, I've seen the lies. Train go by, it's kill or be killed. I wonder who lives. Too long to stay outside. Too long to be.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to The Lead Live. It is Wednesday, August 14th, 2024. There's somebody's birthday. Somebody's birthday is this week.
Somebody's birthday.
Today.
Is it yours?
No,
It's not mine.
it's not mine. Tomorrow is my dad's birthday.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Is that why we have a three?
No,
I'm just kidding.
that showed up the other day mysteriously. That's celebrating 3 years of The Lead Live, which was August 9th.
Nice. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you very much.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's been a journey. that's for
It has
sure.
been.
So
It's been a good one.
My grandson turned 10 on Monday,
Oh goodness.
so that was a
Congratulations. What's his name?
Carter.
Carter. Happy birthday, Carter.
Yeah, Carter talked to him on the phone. He was
Yeah.
getting into some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff.
That's what they should be getting into.
I know.
That's wholesome.
It was pretty awesome. I didn't know that was still a thing.
Yeah,
So.
it's still a thing. It is making a comeback. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Get rid of the
exactly.
internet there for a second. I'm just kidding.
Libby on the Label is joining us this morning here from Arcadia Live.
Yeah, every Wednesday.
Arcadia read the room last night at the City Council meeting. We'll talk about that here in a minute.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't there for that. I was over, I was in the theater actually helping with Charity Ball. They were doing their big Choose a What's-a for the next year.
Oh, did they?
Mhm.
Oh,
I don't
interesting.
ask me who it is. I don't
Okay.
remember.
All right.
I really don't.
Don't forget to go over to our friends over at Ken Ford for all your service needs. Visit them today at 830-257-5557. Brandy Guzman's here. She's the principal at Ingram Tom Moore High School. Brandy, you have I would say a 2018 Ford Expedition. 2020.
Yes.
I would say you need to get it serviced at Ken Ford for all
We
your.
do actually. They're the best.
They're the best for all your
Yes.
service needs. You can actually have them bring out their mobile service van.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so there it is. So you can have it. You can kick your vice principal out of his
His
parking
Subaru.
spot, and you can have the mobile service van take care of your vehicle. So don't forget to visit Ken Ford. They'll take care of you today. We got a great show for you today. We got. We'll be on the label. We've got Erin Burrows is here from Comanche Trace. She's going to talk about the Guadalupe River Center. Bobby Templeton is here from Ingram Independent School District. And Libby on the label is here. Libby, how are you?
I'm so well. I got back from vacation on Monday night. And
Yeah, where did you go? You went to someplace glamorous like Ohio?
oh, no. Glamorous like Ohio.
Where did you go?
No, I went to West Massachusetts.
Oh, that's right.
Out in the sticks.
What was out there?
Well, my boyfriend's family is that's where most of his people are, and so we went up there to go visit. And when I say the sticks, I mean it's absolutely the sticks.
Yeah.
He lived right at the end of the road and had all these backwoods trails. I saw a bear.
What?
Yeah, I know. I saw a bear. It's well, we were on our way to Ogunquit, Maine.
Uh-huh.
And just out in the middle of the road, this little cub was like digging in some trash. I just caught a glimpse of it.
So
it's
like,
little Heine going across the road.
Well, that place, in that part of the U.S., you can be in Maine. Like that's like driving to Bandera,
Yeah.
right? From
Yeah,
here.
it is. It is. I was in 4 different states while I was gone. Went
Yeah.
to Connecticut, New Hampshire, Maine, Massachusetts.
That'd take a couple of days in Texas to get down their state.
Yeah, it would. And they were like, yeah, we're just popping over to Maine. And I'm like, what? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, right.
But everything's so close together. And man, it's a different world up there. The trees just like engulf you. They're so tall.
Right. Did you have
So
a good
tall.
time, though? Yeah,
I
you
had a
did.
great time.
That's great.
Cut too short.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to start taking longer vacations, but like spaced out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
like 5 days really isn't enough when you work a lot.
No, it's not. It's not. It's
You
not
need
enough.
like 10 days is really what you need in order to recoup. But anyways, it was a great time.
You need the time. You got to take some time.
You do.
Don't
You
be
really
like
do.
me.
Don't be a workaholic.
Don't be a workaholic.
Dang.
So.
I'm slowly, I know this sounds weird, but I'm slowly easing out of my workaholic years because from like 16, I had a job at Sonic. And then from there, it was like, okay. Like
Did you do roller skating?
I did.
Did you? Nice.
It was only for a summer, but yeah, it was my first job.
First job.
And then from there, like I did school, but I was in pre-AP and AP classes and Golden Girls and band and all that stuff. So I didn't, I didn't have a job. But after that, it's just been work, 15 hours a day almost.
Yeah.
And so now I'm in my life. I'm like, I may be young, I may be 28, but I've worked a lot. And I'm a little tired.
Yeah, you need to have a
I need to
little bit of a
find more
break, yeah.
balance. Yeah. So that's what I'm working on.
By the way, here are the grandsons. By the way, their birthdays are.
Oh my God!
Carter,
wait, which one's 10 and the one
Carter,
on the?
this one, the one on the right is 10, and then this is Lincoln. He will be 8 on the 25th.
Gosh, look at those
August.
freckles,
Yeah,
man.
I know.
Kids.
Yeah, it's very good. Listen, folks. Last night, the Kerrville City Council had a lengthy meeting. Joe Herring with us already. And Joe Herring, Andrew Gay has joined us now from Texas Hill Country Advisors. Andrew, they approved the tax rate last night, and it was actually a fascinating conversation that you might have enjoyed. Andrew, Kent McKinney, who is the, if I could actually, someone keeps adjusting my camera. It's probably me. I don't know what's going on here. Look at this high-tech way of doing things. Kent McKinney posited, Andrew, an interesting idea. He made the point last night that Kerrville should try to keep up. He basically argued for tax increases because the way that the city's finances are structured, that such a large percentage of the city's finances are frozen property taxes, that the city would never keep up with maintenance and operations if they didn't raise taxes within the 3% minimum they can or maximum they can do it at. It did not gain traction, but it was one of the more novel concepts I've heard from a public official who is a conservative Republican, by the way. And his argument was that are you taking a selfie, Andrew?
Yes, I am.
Wow.
I made sure it wasn't on the.
Wait, do it again. Take another selfie.
Oh, you want in on the?
Your hair
I was trying
is.
to get a nice little,
God, why does his hair look so
behind
good?
the
God,
screen.
your hair is magnificent, Andrew.
You ready?
Yeah, ready. Okay.
I'm not on screen. I'm
We're smiling in the
Yeah,
background.
everyone's smiling at you.
weird.
Say hi to Libby.
Hi,
Hi, Lily,
Andrew.
good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Say
Hey,
He was
well,
at the
listen,
gym.
I'm sorry that I missed your reporting on the tax stuff from the meeting last night.
Yeah.
But I really appreciate you doing all that because I've been hyper focused on what's been going on in the markets and whatnot, and catching up with that, thinking about what I was going to say in the show about inflation this morning. So I get to go back and read your lovely notes that you have so nicely journaled for all of us.
I don't know that I got a little. It got a little long. Julie Behrens is awesome. She's the city finance director, but I mean, she makes it's a detailed deal. It's $40 million, $40 million of spending, $40 million of expenses or of revenue. And it was interesting, though, when McKinney got up and made this kind of assessment. It was such a different. It was such a different take than I've heard previously, and I thought it was pretty courageous, really, because a lot of times, we don't want to do anything with new taxes. And he was like, "Look, we're not going to be able to keep up. We're not going to be able to fund essential city services." If we don't take a more pragmatic stand on some of these taxable things. So it was a fascinating conversation. Also, yesterday, by the way, was the first day of school for Kerrville Independent School District. Allegedly, everything was smooth and running. I didn't check out the situation in traffic on Loop 534. So
It was definitely increased, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
It had been quiet all summer, because that's the little section of road I drive to the gym and back, and then on the way to work. And there was all of a sudden, boom, out of nowhere, there was tons of traffic.
Right. Where do you go to the gym at again?
He goes to Peak.
Peak.
Oh, Peak. Oh, okay. All right.
See him every morning.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
maybe.
Yeah.
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 It's my first day back in the
Yeah.
cut
Yeah.
since the vacation. It was rough.
Andrew, really, you should run from your facility. I know where you
He
live.
could run it, no
Yeah.
problem.
You should take your little herd of.
I've done a little,
you should-
because this is the third week that we've been here, so I've kind of mapped out a few,
Yeah.
plotted out a few places I can kind of run around.
Right.
It's nice
That's
being
cool.
close to downtown and being on the ground floor. We lost the view, and that was a bummer, but it's nice being on the ground floor, not having to take an elevator up to the office.
Yeah, because you're always gonna have someone with the elevator gets on the elevator with you and like doesn't know where they're going, pushes every button, like that scene in Elf where he pushes every button on the. You know how horrible that is. I've been on that.
I have been on elevator rides in the Kerrville South Tower.
Or you're stuck on an elevator with somebody who smells like they just smoked an entire pack of Marlboro Red.
Yo, yeah.
And
at least with the floors and the kids pushing the buttons, there's always
some kind of drama there. Anyway, what do you have for us?
Yeah, so
Only good news.
Independent financial advisor with Texas Hill Country Advisors. We offer securities and investment advisory services through Next Financial Group, member FINRA SIPC. Today was inflation day, and it was a biggie. We got CPI, which is the first inflation report that we get every single month for the previous month. So this was for July, and it came in at 0.2% on the month, which puts us under 3% for the first time on the year-over-year numbers since the Fed has been fighting inflation and raising interest rates. So that seems like that was probably the nail in the coffin for the Fed to cut rates in September at their September meeting, which is coming up real quick. But they recently have kind of cozied up to the labor market side of their dual mandate because they want inflation at 2% and they want sub 4% or what they call full unemployment. And just recently, the unemployment rate has ticked up above that. It's sitting at 4.3% most recently. So I think the Fed's going to be hyper focused on that moving forward. And if we do get the rate cut in September, the next question financial markets are going to ask is going to be what's the number they stop at? How much are they going to cut? Where do they stop? And what's the implication of the overall economic backdrop as far as any continued softening from the economic perspective?
So you're just full of good news then.
Yeah, it was good news this morning, and markets are up. Dow and S&P, NASDAQ, all three are up across the board. The NASDAQ and the S&P, I believe, are sitting somewhere around the 12 to 14% as far as gains year to date still, and the Dow is up about 5% year to date. So
right.
Looks like we're going to have a positive trading day today if things hold, and we'll just kind of continue to monitor and see how the rest of the week plays out because we do have a couple of really big weeks coming up for financial markets.
A lot of people are saying, the economy is worse than we think. I listened to the doom and gloom of the commissioner's court on Monday, and I thought people were living in huts, basically.
But listen, Louis, we've talked about that so many times. I've talked about, there's several Wall Street Journal articles that we've mentioned. They've done surveys. There's data that supports the fact that there's a disconnect between what the economic reality has been over the last year and a half, 2 years, and what we as consumers have been feeling like that economic reality is. And there's a huge disconnect, and it's mainly because of inflation, because the rest of the economic equation, as far as our growth picture with the tight labor market, everything else is like A-okay except inflation. Inflation is what has been hitting the consumer so hard that we feel like things are just terrible.
Yeah.
And so like the rest of the economic picture might look good, but because of that one piece that hits our pocketbooks so hard and hits so close to home, we're at the grocery store every week fighting that thing and staring inflation in the face. So that is definitely why we feel like economically we're not doing as well as
right.
Maybe it's what the reports have been saying over the last 2 years.
Hey, breaking news this morning: the front lawn over at the city hall is getting mowed this morning.
Great.
Did you know that?
I read the comment. Thank you, Delane.
Yeah. Delane Siegerman thrown down yesterday with the Callow Foundation.
You know what's really bad right now with that? It's the stickers. I don't know if you guys have like.
Holy smokes!
The goat spurs.
Furry little Yorkie is. We can't go on a walk now without him being covered.
Well, that's what you get for having little toy dogs. If you had a real dog,
his little belly is grazing the ground.
Yeah. How is the toy dog fleet, by the way? Is it doing okay?
Yeah, he's doing good. I think they're bad. He's
how
battling
many-
some seasonal allergies, but other than that,
Dogs.
all good.
Good. All right. Good job, Andrew, as always.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it very much. Do you have any
Thanks,
education-related
guys. Have a great
questions,
show.
by the way? Do you have any education for our panel of experts today?
Oh, not really. I don't have nothing that comes to mind. Of course, I know school just started back, and frankly, my wife and I don't have kids, but that's been a big topic of conversation recently. So, no, I just look forward to hearing what they have to say.
All right. Good job. Thank you, Andrew. We'll see you on Friday.
Thanks, guys.
All right. See you later.
Good one.
Andrew Gay joins us every day here on the lead. Not every day. He joins us most days on the lead.
It's a regular. What is it? It's like Wednesday.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't his hair look magnificent?
I don't know how he does
I
that.
don't
It
know how he
looks
does-
like that in the gym too.
Does it really?
Yeah, he's over there like doing some insane stuff. Just lifting
Yeah.
weights, but he's at it.
join us.
So,
Yeah.
but how he keeps his hair in place, I need to ask.
Do you
I
ever
need to
have
know.
people in your life who are really blunt?
Yes.
Who's the bluntest person you know in your life?
Probably.
Stacy?
No. Well, I don't say Stacy is blunt. I think that there can be kind of like a connotation behind that, but she's forward.
She's forward.
She's straightforward,
Yeah.
straight shooter.
Yeah.
Blunt, I would say Kay. Kay's blunt.
Kay's blunt. Kay Neinhofer?
Yeah, Kay Ninehofer. And then
I like saying that word, Neinhofer.
Ninehofer. It rolls off pretty well.
Sounds like some kind of metal band. Neinhofer.
Yeah, her or my dad, but my dad's not. He's a little more soft towards me,
Yeah.
but he's blunt to other people. Do you?
I have my doctor, Derek Barecki.
Oh, God.
And
What
I
did he
have-
tell you this time?
Oh, he told me the other day. I told him I was gaining back some weight, and he's like, "Yeah, because you were in bad shape." And I said, "That's great." And then there's Bobby Templeton, and Bobby Templeton will tell you things like he'll say, "So how many times did you have to pee today?" Kind of stuff, like because with my diabetes, and he's like, "Is that too soon for the diabetes jokes?" And I'm like, "It's fine, it's good, it's good."
So you gained weight because you were.
I lost weight.
You lost weight because you were not well.
25 pounds because I was not well in about 3 weeks. Yeah.
That's a lot of weight.
A lot of weight.
That's really fast.
I've been about 220.
Was it fast? I mean, it doesn't matter. that's too fast.
It was too fast.
Yeah.
It was too fast. And my doctor was like, yeah. But Bobby likes to say, he likes to give me a hard time.
He's shaking his head.
So to be clear, I might say, bro, you need to get in shape. But
Yeah.
I don't think
Blunt.
I ask about his habits.
Yeah. Just little do you know. The first day of school.
It was great.
Your first day of school was on Monday.
First day of school's on Monday. A few little hiccups, but nothing major. We had quite a few more kids show up than we expected.
Oh my gosh.
Dang.
So every year we have to deal with kind of some growing pains. This year it was no different.
Yeah.
We dealt with it.
And then with us is Brandy Guzman, who is the new principal at Ingram Tom Moore. Your first day was yesterday. I mean, you've been on the job for a bit. How did it go?
It was great.
Yeah.
All the kiddos came in with positivity. You could just tell it was a new school year vibe. It was really, really great.
Yeah.
We have a lot more students. Our hallways are a lot more crowded and working through that, but it was a really great day.
I estimated between KISD and Ingram ISD that yesterday, because Centerpoint goes back next week and then Hunt goes back a little bit longer, I think on the 21st, that more than 6,000 kids went back to school yesterday, or between Monday and yesterday. How many students are at Ingram as we speak, do you think?
We had about 1,360 or 1,375
Wow.
in attendance yesterday. There'll be
Right.
some more that'll come in, so
Yeah.
we're thinking about 1,400 probably.
1,400,
Give
wow.
or take.
The and now the elementary school is like the biggest school, right?
The elementary school had 647 kids in attendance yesterday.
Wow.
Which is a big elementary school.
Which is up from what Callie Brandt, the principal there, let me note that there was like 625 or 630. I mean, incredible numbers.
Yeah, they just keep coming.
They keep coming. But fortunately, you're building a new classroom wing.
Pardon me. We are. So we're expanding all of the campuses, including the elementary school. So they'll get multiple new classrooms and new facilities.
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
We will be able to to accommodate everyone.
Yeah.
But for right now, we actually had to turn, for example, a custodian's closet into an office. Had to subdivide a few big classrooms,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. We're making it work, but it's not a long-term solution.
Right.
We do have new facilities coming online next year, though.
So those facilities are paid for by a bond that the voters passed in 2022.
Correct.
And that paid for, the first thing we saw was the spectacular new softball field, other improvements around the campus. What else is it paying for?
So the primary things are expansion of our academic facilities, classrooms everywhere, a new gym, and a new ag facility.
Awesome.
There's some smaller projects, but those are the primary ones.
And you also saw, we're going to see the band room will be open by the end of the year.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
new band hall.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's going to be spectacular.
That's great.
You know, it's the school was built. Ingram Town High School first opened in 1983. I think the first graduating class was 83. And it was built for classes of about 30 kids.
Yeah.
No one ever anticipated graduating classes of 130. So, you know, it's kind of a piece together operation, but it is going to be nice. Our facilities are they're not state of the art, fancy. They're nothing fantastic, but they're immaculately clean. They're very functional, and they work well.
Do you? One of the things that's interesting is to see the growth that's out there. In Ingram, the school district covers how many square miles and how much room is there to grow? It doesn't necessarily follow the city limits.
No, it doesn't follow the city limits, and I don't know how many square miles it is, but it's the city of Ingram, goes almost to. Well, it actually goes past I-10 a little bit, out towards Mountain Home, Mo Ranch, out towards Divide. It's a large school district.
Right. What do you see? What is your growth trajectory for the school district?
You know, that's something we really struggle with because there's not a lot of buildings going on. There's not a lot of new construction, and the new construction that is coming is not necessarily, you know, student friendly, family friendly, that kind of thing. So the growth that we have primarily is transfer students.
Right.
And we're lucky in the fact that we can somewhat control, you know, our size to some degree.
Right. You got Brandy in your role too. You've got a diverse population too of kids, and what is the student body like at Tom Moore High School?
Well, we are pushing 450 students this year, which is more than we've had in ever. One thing that I want to add, though, we are getting new facilities, but we are so blessed because our class sizes traditionally have always been smaller than what's typical. So even though we have a lot more students, our class sizes and student-to-teacher ratio is still a huge positive. So our teachers aren't feeling the pressure. In the hallways, you can see it when we have the gyms crossing the buildings, but yeah.
Right. And when I've been there, it just feels like there's an endless sea of kids. You know, maybe the campus is fairly small, but when I've been on campus, it's like, wow, where did all these kids come from?
Well, you know, the campus itself is kind of like a junior college. It's multiple buildings. I think there's, on her campus alone, there's, I think, 15 or 16 buildings.
Yeah.
But they have these kind of natural choke points, the cafeteria, what we call the commons, that kind of thing, where every kid has to be there. But, you know, throughout the rest of the campus, it's okay.
Right.
It's not too bad.
How many years in education for you now, Bobby?
33.
33. And at one point, you were Libby on the Labels principal over at TFND.
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah.
And Libby was a great kid. I remember her. She was
Again.
She was. She was a golden girl. She was a student leader. She was somebody really to be proud of.
Yeah.
She really was.
How many kids do you think you remember in your career? I mean, you've been also in Corpus and other places too.
You know, I don't know how many kids I've graduated over the years. It's well into the, many, many thousands. I remember a lot of them.
Yeah.
I typically remember the kids that were really bad
Yeah.
and caused me a lot of headaches. Or I remember the really great kids, the student leaders, the outgoing kids, the kids that made life a pleasure to be in this profession, like Libby is one of them.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
It's true.
I'm
So I
turning
remember those kids.
Yeah.
Remember quite a few.
Right. How many of those kids think make more money than you now?
I don't know about nowadays. Probably quite a few, but
right.
I think most of them probably make more than our teachers, which is unfortunate.
Unfortunate,
but,
right. The Brent Ringo was here yesterday. We were talking about that a little bit, and we're talking about teacher salaries, and it's one of his big worries. How big of a deal is it for you?
I think it's huge. Although I do think it's going to make a turnaround. Schools are never going to go away. We have to educate kids. People are never going to stop having kids. So at some point, the powers that be in Austin and Washington are going to have to realize that we need more pay for our teachers. If people are still going to keep coming to schools, and they are. And people don't realize that teachers are miracle workers. It's a hard job, and I get tired of people saying, oh, well, you get summers off, because you don't.
Yeah.
Almost
No.
every teacher works a summer job, or
Yeah.
they tutor, or they're doing something. So it is not summers off. They work really, really hard.
Yeah.
I can go up there, and I do all the time, at 9 o'clock at night, and the parking lot has got a ton of cars in it. It's just teachers up there grading papers and trying to make students' lives better.
Right.
And I hope, that will be recognized by people in power at some point.
I don't know if I could probably ask my dad this question. I should ask him, like, how much I'll ask him tomorrow. Like, how much money do you think you spent over the course of his teaching career on supplemental stuff for kids?
Yeah.
How much out of pocket stuff did he? Because that's what a lot of teachers do.
A lot of times teachers do spend money on, some things for their classrooms. We try to support them in every way we can. They don't have to buy pencils and that kind of thing. They might buy some extras. But what people don't realize that teachers do pay, if the kid needs glasses but they're dirt poor, somehow the glasses always find their way to the kid.
Right.
Or if a kid needs a jacket or shoes, we don't have money for that. We couldn't spend it. That's gifting of public funds. But teachers find a way to get their kids what they want.
Yeah.
They become kind of like their own kids, and if a kid needs a jacket and they're cold, or they need shoes, teachers buy that.
Yeah.
And,
Right. Have you spent money out of pocket for kids in your?
Yes.
What is it? Some of the needs you've seen from kids, but you've had
Well,
to.
one of the things that we do every year, actually, the teachers get together, our counselors lead it, and we provide meals for families for Thanksgiving. And then we do, Christmas gifts and presents, and a lot of the teachers come forward. We get some help from PTO. But, one time we had a student that, needed a mattress, and so we went out and got a mattress. Just a lot of things. We always have snacks. We always have those kind of things on hand for kids, and we're so happy to help. But
Right.
Our school district is poor. It's 73% impoverished. And years ago, I don't know if you've ever heard this, but we have a BHAG, and a lot of people don't know what a BHAG is.
I was going to ask.
It's a big, hairy, audacious goal. And years ago, our BHAG was that no kid was going to go hungry. No kid was going to be without shoes or a jacket when it was cold.
A BHAG.
Big, hairy goal.
Big,
Hairy,
hairy, audacious goal.
goal. There's the A.
Yeah.
And we have several of them having to do with college and that kind of thing. But that's one of them, and that's that no kid is going to go without food during the day.
Right.
We provide free lunch and breakfast.
Some people will
for our
say, "Well,
kids.
you're giving out a handout to these kids," but what do you say to that?
We are. I'm very conservative by nature. I don't believe in handouts. So I kind of see that. But I also understand from a practical standpoint that if you're a 5-year-old kid, you have no idea about political situations or geopolitics or food
Right.
politics or anything like that. You just know you're hungry. And how are we going to ask a kid to be their best when they are cold and hungry?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I do get the whole handout thing, and I agree with it to some degree. But also, we have little kids that we have to take care of.
Right.
That's just it.
There's a lot of controversy at the state level about the state rankings and things like that. And there's just this week a court order came down saying that blocking T's implementation of the school ratings. Ingram is an A. Ingram anticipates being an A again. Is it a big deal, or is it not a big deal?
It's not a big deal.
Right.
Is it a source of pride that we are an A-rated school district and have been for years? It kind of is. But what's more of a source of pride for us is just the ability to take care of kids. We don't talk about scores and that kind of thing very much. What we want to do is just take care of our kids, take care of our teachers, and make their lives better.
Right.
Yeah.
And if those scores come in good, well, then that's a bonus. But that's not the grease for our machinery. Would you agree?
I completely agree. When we're taking care of the whole kid, the scores kind of fall into place. So we really focus on the important things.
Do you agree with the criticism that the state is moving the goalposts on those?
Oh, they absolutely are.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind. You know, achievement is what this country is built on.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it pays to be a winner, and it's a competitive world, and I don't believe in participation trophies and just giving out things to people who don't earn it. So, you know, high expectations are one of the things that drive us as a system.
Right.
So yeah, let's have high expectations for everybody. My only thing is I want them to be the same for everyone.
Yeah.
And if we're judged fairly with all of our peers, bring it on. We'll meet whatever challenge comes to us.
Brandy, you got some new programs coming down the way at Ingram Tom Moore High School. Can you tell us a little bit about those programs?
Yes, we are super excited. We have a construction technology program, like building and trades. And our students, I know, we've been really trying to push this program for a while. We're so excited that it's kicking off this year. Our students are in a pathway where they'll be building a tiny home from the ground up. We're thrilled about it. We
That's
have
really
a fantastic first-year teacher coming to us with over 40 years of experience in construction, and he's a strong member of our Ingram family. We're thrilled about that program. Got a lot of students interested in it, and we're ready to roll it out.
You know, I took a construction class my senior year of high school.
Yeah. Was that called woodshop or something, or was it construction through and through?
It was construction, but
cool.
the guy was a contractor. True story, by the way. He didn't understand that there in California they have penal high schools.
Wow.
Yeah. So the schools where they send the kids who are like, it's basically juvenile hall, but it's a high school, right? And they brought these kids over, and the school district that I grew up in had some nominal, control over some of these. There was 2 of them, and this idiot gave these like nail guns to these convicts, right? These are like hardcore like gangster kids, right? And they had to build a wall in the cafeteria. And he goes, yeah, he took us, I learned a mistake. I made a mistake with these kids, and I gave them this Ramset gun, which is like a 22, right? You fired it with this nail into the concrete. And there were like 45 nails. Like that thing was never coming out. They just had a great time.
They just went
shooting that thing into that as well. So as long as we don't have that, I think we're in good shape, Brandon.
Yeah.
Safety is the first unit, so.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That I was going to ask that when we were talking about, different things that Ingram is bringing over. And, going back to reflecting on my time when I was at Tivy, Ingram, not a lot of people were flocking there to go to school. But now, y'all's mentality reflects the scores, and what you're saying about helping the whole kid rather than these scores need to get up, teacher, these scores need to get up. And I'm sure there's talk, about that. But when you look at the whole person, you're able to, it elevates itself. So I think I'm not a teacher, but I'm a teacher on a smaller scale, and I have the same mentality. Like, it's not so much about what I'm teaching you; it's about how I'm teaching you and how I'm getting through to you as a person, and how I'm, shaping you and whatnot. It's just really great to hear, and it's refreshing. It's awesome. I want to thank you guys for your work. It's so cool.
What we talk about more than anything, when we get together as leaders, what we talk about more than anything is safety.
Yeah.
And we always say safety is king. You could have the greatest construction program, the greatest early college program, whatever, but parents, they drop their kids off in the morning, and there is our strong responsibility to return them in better condition than they were dropped off. And that's really what we talk about as much as anything.
Because one of the things that Ingram has led is there's a police department on campus, there's school marshals, there's a lot of training going on involved. How critically important has that program been?
Safety is king. There's nothing more important than that. We don't want to be the school district on the news ever. We never want to be we never want to be the school administrator that has to call a parent and say your child was injured because of something we didn't do right.
Yeah.
So there's nothing more important than that.
You go to a lot of conferences. What is did Uvalde change things again? I mean, or did it not change anything?
Oh, it changed everything. Everything from a requirement to have door locks, numbering systems on doors. It spurred the state requiring an armed person on every campus. It changed a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it was my ideas or anything, but we were kind of ahead of the game. We already had school marshals and police, and we had most of that in place. So it didn't affect us that much because we were already in those practices, but it affected us as a system.
But I mean, for the messaging though, how sobering was it to the realization that when the emergency came, that school police department failed? I mean, is that a conversation you have with your guys? And
all the time. So we have a number of school marshals on our campus, on our campuses, and a school marshal is a person that's gone through an academy. It's a teacher, for example, that spends a good portion of their summer at a police academy, lives there, and has a special license, a school marshal, which is a new classification of law enforcement, and they carry a gun all the time. And their sole job is to make sure that doesn't happen here.
Right. Outside of that, though, I mean, Brandy, what do you think the future of Ingram Tom Moore High School looks like?
Well, I just wanted to add, I remember when Uvalde happened and that next day coming up to school, the first thing you see when you go on our campus is that sign that says we have armed marshals. And I just remember, meeting with all of our teachers and just reflecting on how grateful our students were already gone, but how grateful that our district takes it so seriously. And we, just felt comforted that, we were prepared for something like that.
It was so sad in the schools right after that happened. We were all the staff members just kind of walked around, and of course it wasn't our school. We didn't know anybody personally that went through that, but it was just such a somber experience for all of us. It felt like somebody in my family had died, and they did.
Right.
Yeah.
But it had that same kind of affect for all of us in the schools.
But going back to that, also, what do you see some of the positives about coming up in this school year that you're looking forward to?
So many things. I mean, we already kicked off volleyball, football, cross country, all of the things. So excited for an increase in school spirit and positivity and just providing additional opportunities for our students. Everything, hands-on learning, an associate degree, our new pathways, just so much opportunity for every single kid to be successful.
Last year, I think it was 68 kids got dual credit recognition through St. Philip's or Palo Alto colleges, which is part of the Alamo colleges, or earned certifications for welding and other
and cybersecurity.
Amazing.
What do you think it's going to look like this year for graduation?
Oh, we are projected to blow that out of the water again. And just 3 years ago, we had 6 students graduate high school with an associate degree, and then this past year we had 66% graduate with a post-secondary credential or an associate degree. So,
amazing.
Yeah. And do you think that's going to be another positive trend this year? What do the kids say about it? Do they talk about it?
Yes, they do. They are so hungry for it and excited, and they come in and they're like, well, I really want to take some more dual credit. What can I do? And we're telling kids, hey, there's a cap. You can only take so many courses. You have plenty of time to get through this.
Overachiever.
Yeah. And it's great having those conferences with students about, what do they really want to do? What's best for them? What do they want for their future? And
it is so cool to go to those college graduations.
It is the coolest.
And our kids walk across and they're still in high school.
Right. Yeah.
Amazing.
Still in high school. Bobby, you put in place 3 principals. Callie Brandt over at the elementary school, Kayla Casey over at when we kicked Sorala out of Ingram, so he could go run around at TFND. She's now at middle school, and then Brandy at the high school. You got 3 strong women, all relatively new. What are the strengths they bring to this district?
As far as selecting leaders, I do not care if you're a man, woman, black, white, it doesn't matter. If you take care of kids and you love kids and you love teachers and take care of teachers, then I'm for you. Yeah. And they are outstanding leaders. Brandy here, for example, she is...
She got more applause for you than you did for the...
of course.
Yeah.
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 I mean, the superintendent, that's like a wet blanket. But,
Because it's still early.
Yeah, it's
Brandy's very positive. She's outgoing.
Yeah.
She's sweet. She's kind. She's very motherly. But what people also don't realize is that she is a former Army medic.
yes.
She is an Army veteran. And when it's time to go from carrot to stick, there is nobody I would want in my corner more than her. So,
Right.
I think people have to have a really good mix of carrot and stick. She does, and I cannot tell you how blessed I am to have these leaders with me.
Absolutely.
It's a team effort.
It's a team effort. What about we have the Golden Girls over at TFND? What about Ingram Tom Moore? We're going to have a Golden Girls-esque. What are we going to call them?
So we don't have a dance
Yeah,
team.
y'all don't have
we
a dance team.
We have a cheer squad. We
Yeah.
have color guard.
Yeah.
We do have a new cheer sponsor this year. We're super excited about. They're already making signs and they're doing run out signs. They did 2 dances at Meet the Warriors and were fantastic. Yeah, they have some stunts going on. Looking forward to see what they bring to the games this year.
If you want to find out more about the Ingram School District, by the way, you can just go to the ingramisd.net, and there it is. There's the website right there. I don't know who takes care of that, but it could be yours truly, because I do some part-time work there for the school district.
Oh, that's cool.
But including keeping this website up to date. You find everything on there you need to know, including how to transfer or how to buy tickets for the upcoming season. So, but apparently Juan broke the internet yesterday, so I don't know how you're going to fix that.
He did.
Last question: What are you going to do about Mindy Curran, your assistant superintendent? She's a force of nature.
Yeah, she is a formidable personality.
Yeah.
And really, I just try to keep her happy and stay out of her way as much as possible.
Yeah, I mean, you got some talent there. You got some bench talent all over the place. Don't
Heavy
you?
hitters.
Heavy hitters.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
And I tell people, if you can't work with strong women, this is just not the place for you.
That's what's up.
I think I'm the only guy. There's just a few of us in our leadership team. It's all really tough women.
But you and I are the only men at the district office.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm in the coldest office in the whole place. So it's amazing. Thank you both for being here. I appreciate it very
Well,
much.
it's a pleasure
Thanks so
being
much
here.
for having
Yeah,
us.
absolutely. Anytime. With that, we're going to switch over now. We have another question. Aaron Bros is here from Comanche Trace. Good job, you guys. You guys were in the news yesterday. You made it. You made it, Aaron.
We
Thank
did.
you so much.
You guys got approval for some short-term. I didn't realize you did this out there.
Yeah, so it started years ago with some of the new villas and the German cottages, kind of more the lock and leave villas and little townhome condos with zero kind of shared walls with a garage. And so it was kind of an opportunity for the developer back when Comanche Trace was first being developed to really give folks an opportunity to come out, because Kerrville 20 years ago when Comanche Trace was first started was still, if you knew, you knew, but if you didn't, you didn't, right? Like people didn't think about Kerrville. Fredericksburg was always kind of on the map. Austin was on
Where's
the map.
Kerrville?
So this gave everyone an opportunity to come out and really experience the hill country and get to experience the hill country living, get to experience a taste of Comanche Trace, play the golf course, see the city, take advantage of the club amenities, and really see if that might be a forever home for them, whether it was a primary residence or it was going to be a secondary home. About 40% of our members are non-resident, or about 40% of our residents are non-residents. So they have a primary residence outside of Kerrville.
Which means they must live in Houston or something.
They're everywhere.
Midland,
We got a ton in Midland, Austin, San Antonio.
Yeah.
We have a lot of folks that are members at San Antonio Country Club and have beautiful homes and hunt, or they have ranches. But I'd say Austin, Midland, Houston, a lot come from Dallas. So it's not just folks that live in Santa Fe or Alto that come down for the winter months. It's actually
Texans too.
Texans,
Other
absolutely.
Texans.
And I think a lot of folks too have found out about Kerrville because of
the golf course at Comanche Trace and stuff.
Yeah. With coming to camp all those years, and so it's kind of been the best kept secret in Texas, in my opinion. But I feel like the secret's definitely getting out. And now that I came over with the new ownership over at Comanche 2.5 years ago, we've completely rebranded the club. We've taken it private. So doing a lot of things, and I think really beefing up our marketing and really our reach. And
It was so
we've
interesting,
opened
though.
up new phases, so it's been really exciting.
It was funny because I was thinking about yesterday during that meeting, and then I got an email from you. Oh, I'm going to be on the show tomorrow. Can't we just talk about the the Guadalupe River Center?
Yes,
but then
which is why I'm here.
I know, but I was like, I did not know that was something that Comanche Trace offered, was the short-term rentals. I was fascinated by that.
Yeah, so it's a very small. We only have 3 in the rental pool right now. Since then, I think at one point we might have had up to 7 or 8, but then folks have decided to stay. A lot of folks owned it, and then they would come part-time, and they put it in the rental pool, the other part. But I think folks are realizing how special it is, and they want it to be a primary residence. So now they've decided to take it off the rental, take it out of the rental pool, and live there full-time. So we actually have a couple of folks who are looking to purchase them to put them in the pool. But it's a good draw because it draws people to Kerrville, because most people who are looking at Kerrville are also looking in Georgetown, San Marcos, Bernie. They may be looking outside of Dallas, Granbury. So it's a really good selling point for the community
places
in general,
are terrible.
too. I know.
San Marcos ain't that bad in the summer
know.
when all the kids are gone.
I don't like it.
Well, and let me tell y'all, I still commute from San Antonio.
You
every
do?
day. I have an
I remember
hour
you
and
telling me
five
that.
hour and 5 minute commute.
God bless your soul.
But I only did it because I felt when Mr. Held, who bought Comanche, I've worked with him before, most recently at the Dominion. When he told me he was buying a club in Kerrville, I was like, "What are you talking about?" I'm a Texas
Kerrville?
girl. I've worked in the Houston,
What
Dallas,
is
Austin, and San
Kerrville?
Antonio markets. Long story short, I have fallen in love with this community. I have fallen in love with this town, and I really want to move here. And so for me, when I was asked to be a part of the Guadalupe River Center project, and my love for water, and moving from Austin, where I spent at least 4 days. I was always at the town lake 3 to 4 days a week, easy with my dogs running and enjoying the trail. I was like, I'm in. All they had to do was say, we are essentially going to create a town lake in Kerrville. And I was like, I'm in. And then with all the hard work of so many people over the years, making that trail system a reality, our goal and vision is to eventually have it all connect at some point. That's a long-term vision, but it is definitely a reality. And when you look at photos,
That's my vision for it.
And let me tell you, when you look at photos of Lady Bird John's, when you look at Lady Bird, looking at Town Lake 40, 50 years ago when she first had that vision, y'all, it was much bigger than Nimitz Lake, but it was very similar as far as infrastructure, a town around it. Not a lot of access, but you had this beautiful lake in the middle of this town, and it's like, why aren't we
not using
on
it?
Yeah, absolutely. So I feel like we're definitely kind of we're
on the brink of something very, very
and
important.
it's a legacy project.
Yes.
It is truly going to be a legacy project for our kids, our grandkids, and great grandkids, and I just think it's it's going to be so great for the community.
That's the thing is that when I went to Austin for the first time, people were saying, and I didn't get to go to Austin until 2015, so it's only been the last decade.
Yeah.
People would say, "Oh, it's like the Bay Area," and I thought, "Nah, whatever." When I got down to Town Lake or Lady LBJ Lake or Lady Bird Johnson Lake.
Yeah, I'm an OG because I still call it Town Lake, even though it's now Lady Bird Lake.
For the longest time, I thought it was Town Lake.
It was Town Lake forever, and then they kind of renamed it in the last 10 years or so.
I mean, I kind of got it. I kind of because the activity was there. Now,
it's incredible, and just in 10 years, it's changed so much.
I didn't need a jacket like you might need if you're on the Embarcadero or running, between Fort Point and the Embarcadero in San Francisco. But I mean, I got that same kind of active vibe that you would get from
stand-up paddleboarding.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember
rowing,
when I was
kayaking, fishing.
When I was running it 25 years ago, back when I was in college, I mean, there were a few paddle boards. There was a few, but it wasn't like it is today, where now it's just boat out when you're going over the bridge.
Oh, and there's just that island of people, man.
It's so
the
beautiful.
sandbar over there.
To me, that is quality of life at its finest.
Yeah.
And even just talking about the Ingram School District, and we know there's kind of two levels of income in Kerr County. You've got there's a lot of money, but then there's a lot of poverty, and these children especially. And so for us, what really speaks to a lot of us is the fact that we're going to allow these underprivileged children who are right here who have never had a chance to go out and experience the river and try kayaking or try, just all the different outdoor activities. The education piece and the fact that we're going to be partnering with Schreiner and doing a lot of conservation and education programs in STEM. A lot of
Good
STEM
afternoon.
classes,
I'm Judy Eichner, the mayor of Kerrville, and I'm here to tell you my 4 reasons for 100% supporting the Guadalupe River Center project. I am so excited about it.
I'm tearing up thinking
The first
about it,
reason
'cause
is
dude, like, it's
it
so
fits
important.
the
It's so
2050
important
plan.
these
The
kids
vision
get
that
exposed
the
to
people
different things,
had
'cause you never
as
know,
they
like,
put together
one of
our
them
comprehensive
may be
plan,
really good at
this was one
kayaking
of
or
the
rowing, and
things.
then they're in the
The
Olympics.
second has to
You
do
know,
with
it can change a
education
kid's
and good
life, and
stewardship.
the legacy, like
We
what you're
have
saying,
got
that
to
it's
know
gonna
how
bring
to
is
take
just
care
gonna
of
be
our
amazing,
river.
and I'm
We've
really
also
looking
got to
forward
know
it.
how
Whenever I
to
was up
enjoy
in,
our river. So
Massachusetts, I was
education
trying to
and
explain this
stewardship
project
will be a
to,
great part of
some
that.
of,
The third thing
my boyfriend's
is,
family
if
and whatnot,
I
and they were
were,
like,
I would be remiss
yeah, like,
as
that's
your
really
mayor
awesome. I'm like,
if
no,
I
like,
did not
but this
look
is
at the
really
economic
important.
impact
is really
that
important
this
to our
will have.
community
So
because
as
it's gonna bring
as this
so
comes
much
to
good
fruition, our sales taxes
it's
are going
gonna
to go up,
provide
and the
everyone in the
economic
community,
impact
whether
is
you're
going to
a
be
disabled
wonderful for
veteran, you
our
are,
city. The fourth
paraplegic,
reason,
you
and this
are
is the
a,
best reason
a
of
young
all,
child
this is
or
for
a busy mom with 3
recreation,
kids.
the fun
it's
part
gonna give
of all of
everybody
this.
easy
And
access to
this
get
is
down
going to
into the
be
river, take
available
advantage of the
and will be
programming. And
used
then
by
what we're creating
for
with the
everybody
actual
from
river
our
center
kids
on
to
Boat,
our
which is
adults.
actually the 10 acres
It
that
will
runs
have
to the
special,
riverfront
it will be
access
available
is
for
really
those
a
that
beautiful
have
gathering
special
place for the
needs.
community.
There
Young
will
people
be
all-
handicapped
this is not
accessibility.
funded by taxpayers.
This is going to be
all
used
private
by,
donations.
especially
I
our
can't thank
schools. I know
all
our
of
schools
private,
are excited about it,
all the
but we're
folks
going to
here in
find
town
that
and even
our
outside of Clark County who are donating. We have
businesses,
6 or
clubs,
7 big
organizations,
corporate sponsors.
they're
Most
going to find
recently,
ways to use this.
Atkinson
Actually,
Motors.
they probably
There's
won't,
so
it won't be
many
just
that are, like,
ways,
stepping
they're
up
going to be
because they
finding
see the
excuses
long-term
to use this. This is
potential
going to
and
be
vision.
absolutely
it is.
wonderful
I
for our city. If you have an
I have
opportunity
been
to find out more about it,
horrified
please ask questions,
some people
find
saying
out
about
more,
this is the
and
video we're showing
if
of
I
me
would
and Jimmy
encourage
Eichner
you,
talking
if you
about
have an
about the
opportunity
video.
to
This is the
support it
video.
in any
Actually, I
way,
guess somebody
and you
named
feel
Liz Hamilton
half
may
of my
produce that video.
excitement, please do.
contact
It's
me
going to
now?
benefit
Of
us.
course you did. It's great.
But what's interesting though was that the River Center though, there's a lot of people who were like, oh, it's a pet project, it's unnecessary. Why do we need it?
They said the same thing about the trail system.
They
and
did.
Look at it now.
Yeah, they did. And
Unbelievable.
the trail system is one of the more remarkable parts of what we're what we call home here.
100%. That's
So-
why I want to move here to have access to that trail system in the river park. We don't have a town lake or trail system in San Antonio.
No.
Like, that is a huge quality of life for folks that like to run and walk, take their dogs out, enjoy the outdoors, and be able to get some exercise and stay active. And guess what? And I talked about this at the EIC meeting. I mean, you look at the demographics, and I study them because, working at Comanche Trace and overseeing membership sales and marketing and all the things. I mean, we're watching the trends of the folks that are moving to Kerrville or considering possible relocation, and it's from all over the United States. But they are all, it's not just retirees that want to play golf in their 70s like it used to be. This is like 30, 40, 50-year-olds. Like the oldest folks I'm really talking to are in their late 50s, C-level executives, haven't quite retired yet, empty nesters, but they're active. They're running marathons, they're ultra, they're working out 4 or 5 days a week. I mean, all the things. So this is such a huge selling point as far as folks that want to move to the hill country, why
Right.
they would pick somewhere like, and that's good for our commerce. That's good for that is good for everybody. So.
Well, we were. I've shared this story before, but if you read the history of the Riverwalk in San Antonio, an idea that was thrown out as early as the 20s, and some people were like, "You're crazy," and then they built it.
I can't believe San Antonio there wasn't one at one time. Like to me, it just seems like it's always been there. I
it's just
cannot,
been
but that
there
was
forever.
a visionary right there.
Right.
truly.
Yeah.
And at the time, I think it cost, which was a lot of money back then. That coming out of the Depression was a $500,000 federal investment. And if you think about that, though,
Yeah.
look at the return on that investment. How much money is that area? How much money is that brought to San Antonio?
People come in from all over the
Yeah.
world
Yeah.
to experience the Riverwalk. Wouldn't that be cool for us?
Yeah.
I know a lot of folks don't want to keep. They want to keep Kerrville small, but I
I'm
feel like there's going to be an opportunity at some
Yeah.
point where people really are going to understand what a gem this place is.
Yeah,
and it's
and
going to be a huge
what a
draw
gem
for
Texas
them.
is in and of
Yeah.
itself. Yeah, a lot of people are looking to move here because way of life is just where you at is important, but it's a little slower. It's a
Yeah,
little
you're
slower,
right.
and people are more kind and
Well, look
more
at this.
willing to lend a hand. What are we looking at?
No, I mean, I'm just saying, though, you're absolutely right, though, because if you
Yeah.
look at the, Arcadia's, role on the river, you had a beautiful back deck, you had a beautiful opportunity there to go out and look at the river and enjoy it. There's access points to the river. There's some discussion now about how can we connect the river further downstream, all the way to the center point? Could we connect it to Comanche Trace?
Gosh, I hope so. Gosh,
Yeah, I
and
mean-
I'm in it. Let's do
And
it.
and I was talking to somebody the other day who'd just been to New York City for the first time and never been to Central Park. And again, I hold this up all the time. Central Park exceeds your expectations. Some people are cynical, like, I don't want to hear nothing about no New York stuff.
No New York
But
stuff.
when you go to New York, though, and you realize that not only do the residents of the city love it, but it's obviously it's a huge tourism draw. People from all over the
100%.
world want to go just walk through it.
bet.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And we in a city of our size, we have this great park already, and this is just one more element.
Yeah.
This is going to complement it. This is not competition.
Yeah,
this
no,
is
it's
truly going to
just
give
elevating
children,
it.
especially because right now, Louise Hayes, that's really the only easy access point to the river.
Yeah.
So we're going to be able to do the same thing. Plus, if you're a dog-friendly person
Yeah.
like I am, truly,
Right.
the River Center is going to have dog ramps. We're going to have a boardwalk. We're going to have easy access ramps, and we're going to have the all the different points for folks that might have disabilities. Like it's going to be huge in that regard, which I
Right.
think's nice. So we're trying to make it, we're trying to make it inclusive of everybody and not just certain folks. you
Yeah,
know?
all populations are accounted
Yeah.
for in the thought of this design, and it's awesome to see what you guys have been cooking up.
And you know what's cool is we're only $40,000 away. Like we literally have enough we are $40,000 from our big goal, and so we were supposed to close. We ended up pushing it just a little bit, but now we have the cash to do it.
Right.
And we are hoping after we close early October, when the weather gets a little cooler, we're going to have a huge community celebration down at the River Center, at the park, so the official site, and really just bring everybody together to really just kind of
Nice.
celebrate this kind of exciting. I mean, this has been a 6-year process. I've been kind of the new kid on the block, just being here involved with it over the last 11 months. But the fact that we're only 40,000 away, and so many folks are stepping up, and some of these are people who have just moved here. They're hearing about it. They're like, wait, what?
What?
This
How
is
can I
gonna
get
happen?
involved? Yeah.
And that's why we're so grateful for folks like Lewis and all the folks that are really supporting and allowing us to have a voice with this,
Right.
because I don't think folks really understand what's happening with that piece of property.
Yeah.
So it's really exciting. So stay tuned. More details to come on
All
that.
right.
But just wanted to thank all of our sponsors and all of our individual donors, because we couldn't have done it without
Well,
you, Shirley.
thank you for
Truly history in the making.
Yeah, thank you for being
It
here.
is.
Your kids and grandkids, Libby,
Yeah.
are
Yeah, I
gonna
know.
hopefully get to enjoy this.
I know.
It's gonna be
I'm
awesome.
I'm
And they're gonna-
excited.
They're going to be like, my great grandma, she helped him. She helped him. By the way, I got to give Libby a plug in the Arcadia. Libby was my girl. Like, we worked together last fall on the most amazing, that was like last November, wasn't it? Most amazing fundraiser and kind of awareness party at the Arcadia for the Guadalupe River Center. It
Libby
was
gets
kind of
it
a
done.
big kickoff. And she got it
Thank
done. And me
you.
being a hospitality girl, I was like, she's the best.
Yeah.
man.
Libby gets it
So
done.
thank you for that.
Guys, this is not about me today.
Libby,
I appreciate your thank you.
What did you learn today, Libby?
I learned that. I don't know. Are you expecting me to say something about myself?
Well, I mean, here's what I learned. Bobby Cumberland.
I'm on the spot.
Bobby Cumberland remembers you.
I didn't know he. Okay, I
I
learned that he
know.
remembered
Wasn't that
me.
sweet? I
Learned that
loved
he
it.
knew where I went to school and what I majored in and what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So that blew my mind.
He also knew what you ate for breakfast this morning.
Oh,
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Right.
He's in my walls.
Yeah. Right.
No, but sorry. Going back to like, I don't know, I'm just kind of envisioning, you know, if you go to like a museum or whatever and you see those people like putting in a shovel and they're like, this is when we broke ground. Like some of that stuff like you see here in Kerrville with Louis Hayes Park and whatnot, like that's going to be you guys putting in this river center and getting to see that, I don't know, like 50 years down the road, or like, wow, like I was present for that in this monumentous thing. So
yes,
it's just exciting. It's bubbling up.
It is.
Did you learn anything today, Aaron?
I did. I learned that I am so impressed about
too.
Ingram School District. Well, I learned. Well, I already knew Libby was just a shining star and a little overachiever, but now Tommy just kind of echoed that. But listening about hearing Brandy talk about that new program that they have where these kids, the technology and building.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, I want my little guy who's now 14 going on 24. He's going to be a freshman at O'Connor. I want him to go to Ingram. I mean, that would be so perfect for him. Like, what a gift,
Small
blessing,
school,
that
big
blessing to the
Yeah.
community.
Yeah.
Oh my
And a
gosh.
blessing to the kids too,
Yes.
building things and building houses and stuff. Like it's a lost, I'm going to say art form.
Yeah.
Because
It
I
is.
feel like it is an art. My dad's an artist. He built our house. So it's kind of a thing that's been kind of edging out of my, age group. So introducing these skills
That
to
these
these
ideas
kids is
this
very
can be
important.
a reality, 100%. So
Yeah.
that was really cool for me. So I
Very
enjoyed
good.
hearing about that.
Libby, thanks for being here.
Thank you for allowing me to be here every Wednesday. It's a pleasure.
You
an
always ask
honor.
good questions too.
Thanks.
I'm proud
I
of
try to
the
be
work
inquisitive.
you're doing. Yes. Aaron, you're always, of course, welcome back. Of course, you'll be back in a couple weeks, right?
I'll be back with my girl Michelle Manzel. So we'll be
Excellent.
talking about CT, and she's a CT Realty agent.
I want to hear
We'll be
about.
talking about all the exciting
I want to
things
hear about
happening.
the houses. I want some. I'm gonna see some photos of some cool houses.
You know what?
Yeah.
We'll bring some slides.
Some slides.
We'll bring
I
some
love
fun-
it.
Yeah.
some what do we call that?
You'll be some presentations of
yes.
this. Yes. Yeah. All right.
Yes.
I don't know what.
The tomorrow, Dalton Rice will be here from
Don
the-
Rice.
Yes.
Oh, you never told me what happened with Arcadia in the city council meeting.
Oh, well, Larry Howard read the room because the meeting was really long, and they had a pretty long presentation from Arcadia. Like, look, we had 10,000 people at the Fourth and the River. We
I
did a
love
great
Larry.
job. And then
I love it.
Everyone was like, oh, thank God, Larry. We believe you.
Here's what we did. Here's
what
how
we
it
did.
went.
Yeah.
And good night.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
I'm not sorry I missed that meeting.
No.
once it gets to 8 o'clock, I start to crash.
Yeah.
I was like, dinner is waiting. Let's go home.
When do
So-
y'all start that? They start at like.
6. Well, it depends on the meeting. So they start sometimes at 4
Oh.
and go to 8.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I was part of one that legendary one that was
Yeah.
part of like till 10 or something.
Oh,
I was like,
yeah.
if this is what it's always like, I'm never coming back
Never
to
come
another.
back. There's been some long ones.
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks a lot for being here. Leslie Jones will be with us tomorrow. Wendy Jones will be with us tomorrow. And Kylie Gazelle will be with us tomorrow. And who knows who else will show up. And on Friday, Julie Davis will be back. And also, we'll have Amy Goodyear from the Callow Theater.
Love it.
Thanks a lot. We'll see you guys again tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day,
Bye,
everybody.
y'all.
See you.
Bye, guys.
No holding back, no stepping stones, no broken promises, no busy tones. Just what it takes, just make believe.